How should I start this off? I don't know how to do this.
I'ma break you up, let me be your motivation to stay and give it tonight. Baby, turn around, let me give you innovation. Yeah, 'cause I do it so right.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming to my very first YouTube video. Okay, I didn't think y'all were gonna come, but you're here, so thank you. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. Y'all know the little spiel. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share my stuff. Thanks. And yeah, it's lit. So this is gonna be a Q&A all about my locks, honey. These wonderful girls, okay? Y'all asked me so many questions about them, so I'm like, why not make a video about it? Just answering all of y'all questions. So here we go. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So the first question, well, actually before I jump into it, people ask me all the time why I started my locks. So I figure I'll just answer that on here. So I started my locks, actually I had faux locks at first. It was summer 2018 and I had black faux locks. They were shoulder length and they were cute. Like the style was actually very becoming on me. So I figured, I was like, okay, I could rock this style. I wonder if I, could rock real locks. And of course they were gonna be different. They weren't gonna be like the exact same as, the faux locks, but it was a thing for me that I actually considered. I never really wore my natural hair out like that. So if you knew me back then, I just wore straight weaves, wigs, braids. I was switching up my hair. I used to wear ponytail pieces. I remember wearing this poof that everybody thought was real. I had the girls fooled and tricked, baby, because people always thought that was my hair, but none of those styles were my hair. Like, I can probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've worn my natural hair before I got my locks in college. Yeah, I was like, well, if I get locks, if I start my own locks with my natural hair, then maybe I'll actually start wearing my hair out, embracing my hair, because I mean, it gets to a point where y'all putting on the wigs, first of all, I snatched my edges out. My edges were gone, intact now, okay? What? Okay. But yeah, I snatched my edges out my sophomore year of college. Tragic. Like, them girls were gone by my birthday. I got straight backs. I went to go visit my Morehouse brothers in New York. The straight backs I had, all the pictures I took, I was forcing them edges, forcing it. So I said, no, this has got to end. I want to take care of my hair. I don't want to keep snatching my edges out by these lace fronts. So yeah, bye to them girls. I decided to lock my hair in November 2018 and I love them ever since. Let's start with the questions. So the first one is, what has your lock journey caused you to learn about yourself? My lock journey has caused me to learn that I'm very impatient. I'm a very impatient person. One thing I always tell people when they ask me, like, what advice do they have as far as starting locks, you have to have patience. Like, you have to. Those starting stages in months, baby. When people say like locks have an ugly stage, they do. They do. They caused me to realize that I was impatient at first, but I have since developed that patience and, love for my hair, and know that it's a growing process. Have your locks changed your idea of beauty? If so, how? So, yes. Simply because I didn't love my natural self before I locked my hair. I really didn't. I didn't see myself as beautiful without a wig or without makeup. Even before I locked my hair, I went through a stage where I wasn't wearing any makeup, and that's when I was able to truly see myself. Like, since high school, since middle school, I've been wearing makeup. If it wasn't for lashes, it was a brow. If it wasn't for a brow, it was like a lipstick or lip gloss, because I didn't want to look dry. So just embracing that and embracing like having my natural hair out, it definitely has changed my image of beauty, because I don't need that extra stuff to be beautiful. I love it. I love makeup, don't get me wrong. I still love and adore wigs and braids and stuff like that, but I don't need that to feel beautiful and to look beautiful to me.
Yes, queen, yes, queen, yes, queen.
That's my opinion. That's number one. Next question. What or who influenced you to start your lock journey? Side note, I love them on You, Such a Doll. Thank you. That came from my sister, y'all. I love her so much. So like I said before, I was just tired of the wigs, snatched my edges out, wanted to embrace my hair. But actually there's this girl and she has red locks. She calls them like hot Cheetos. They're long and red and they're so cute on her. She definitely inspired me to start locks. So the next question is, what's the hardest part about having locks? The hardest part about having locks for me, I love for my hair to be like crisp, pristine, laid, you know, on point. It's not like that with locks. As you can see, they just do their own thing. Some will be sticking up. My hair doesn't do that anymore because they're longer, but when they were shorter, they would just like stick up like all over the place. And I'm like, no, what are you doing? No. So that's been the hardest thing for me, is just learning to just go with the flow. Like, just let them flow and be their own person. Because they do that all the time. They're my babies. I call them my children, to be honest. I just love them so much. Okay, so yeah, that's the hardest thing. If you don't really care, if you just like for your hair to flow, then that won't be an issue for you. But for me, that was the hardest thing about having locks. So someone said, when's the red hair coming? I was just talking about that, okay? So I put a poll on my Instagram if I should stick with the blonde or go red. And a lot of y'all voted for red, majority voted for red. Okay, so before I dyed my hair blonde, and somebody else asked that, they said, how long did you wait until you colored your hair, or was your hair already colored before? So I was a year and 2 months when I bleached my hair. My hair was the color of my roots. And then December 2019, I decided to bleach it. I didn't put color over it. This is just straight bleach. Like, she didn't even put a toner or anything, so. But before I dyed my hair blonde, I was like, should I do blonde or red? And I eventually figured that it would be easier to go from, because I like to, like I said before, I like to change my hair. I like to change my hair color. I've had pink, blue, green, red before. I've literally had it all. So I planned on changing, best believe. But I figured it would be easier to go from blonde to red than to red from blonde. Because with this, all I have to do is put a rinse on it. But maybe this fall. I don't know. I love the blonde. I can't, I think I'm attached. So yeah, I do want to go red, but maybe this fall. We'll see. No fingers crossed. Okay. Did you have an ugly phase? If so, how did you continue loving your hair? So I want to get out of the habit of calling it an ugly phase, but I did have a hard time managing my hair phase with my locks. I think it was the beginning, it was the 1st through 4th month. Around the 4th and 5th month, my locks actually started budding. The budding stage was definitely hard for me, just because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Washing my hair, after I washed it and retwisted it, it did not last long at all. My hairstyles were not lasting long. Like, my hair was growing so fast, like literally so fast, that I needed to retwist literally every week. And you can't do that. Well, you can, but it's not really good to do that because your hair can get weak and your locks can start falling out. So that was hard to manage time. I won't call it an ugly phase. And the second part of the question was, how did you continue loving your hair? Like I said earlier, just patience. You have to have patience. You have to learn to love yourself, love your locks. I actually, just like a truthful moment, I stopped expecting assurance from other people, and looked for it within. So I was telling myself, you know, who cares if your hair is not done? They're not paying for it. I mean, it's not for them. It's not on them. So who cares if your hair isn't retwisted? Who cares if your hair isn't done? That's when I started loving my hair. That's when I started loving me. Okay, so another question was, Tris had some and they would look rough every 2 weeks. What's the trick to not having to retwist so much? It's no trick. It's really no trick. I mean, you can do updos. It depends. Okay, it depends on your hair. Let me just start with saying that. It depends on the length. It depends on the texture. It depends on the consistency of your hair. If you have longer hair, you can put it up. I love putting my hair up into a bun. It's so easy, so simple. If your hair is shorter, which is why like my first instinct was like, it's no trick. You just have to let them be. Well, that's all the questions I had. Thank y'all so much for asking me questions in the first place. And y'all have asked me questions before, I just couldn't remember them, so I had to do like an Instagram thing. But yeah, we're here. Make sure y'all tune in to my next YouTube video. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be cute, and I'm gonna be here